My life. He is a most inconspicuous sketch laborer in the Wanchi sect. But 500 years ago, a catastrophe descends upon the heavens. It is I who calm the turbulent currents with myriad treasures, to save the common people.
But they don't know. As long as I can still put pen to paper.
Wanchi still remembers me. In 300 years, not a single real artifact has been produced.
Still occupying the
Spiritual vein. You all deserve to be called a pavilion. Drawing a scrap draft.
Did you hear it? Your scrap weapon pavilion is about to be destroyed. 30 days. That's enough. Ha ha ha, what is enough? That's enough for you to draw 30 more sheets of scrap paper. This is the legacy of the scrap artifact pavilion. A broken cauldron doesn't look like a cauldron, nor a bell. A damaged image does not mean a vessel is ruined. Then why don't you let it shine for me? The scrap artifact pavilion secretly stored dangerous old artifacts. The crime was increased by 1 degree.
First, turn off the furnace so there are still people inside.
People on the main peak don't touch the old furnace of the scrap artifact pavilion.
If you get hurt, it's your own fault.
The furnace isn't broken. The tempering pattern was sealed by you guys in reverse. You don't even have spiritual fire.
And dares to touch the Chiwen furnace, painting a broken cauldron and trying to quell the fire. The cauldron isn't meant to be fired.
It's about letting the fire return to the furnace. This is not an ordinary image. That cauldron just now really had some use. It was just a coincidence that an old furnace was being tempered. Only you are familiar with the old artifacts of the scrap artifact pavilion. The furnace fire will get out of control.
It's not the scrap artifact pavilion's problem. Someone has dismantled
its Guiyuan pattern.
What do you mean?
This stove could originally contain chaotic fire on its own.
But the Guiyuan pattern was scraped off. Only then will the fire
leak out.
We have guarded old artifacts for so many years. No one has ever told us these patterns are useful. It's not that no one told me.
There are people who want you to always feel useless.
The young sect master, the Chiwen furnace, had just lost control.
属下怀疑废弃阁私藏危险旧器。
Shen Zhaoxuan was painted by you. It will gather a wisp of furnace fire. He thought the scrap artifact pavilion could still turn things around. These fragments of paper had occupied the sect's spiritual vein for 300 years. It's time to give it up. After 30 days, the Wanchi mini-exam. The abandoned artifacts pavilion seemed as if no one had entered the list. The sealing order took effect immediately. Even the reference qualification for the scrap artifact pavilion was taken by the main peak. How to make the list. So you can accept your fate now. Give the abandoned pavilion a spot. You within 30 days.
I will transform back into 9 true artifacts. The day of the Wanchi quiz.
废弃阁若不上榜。
I turned off the lamp myself.
It is like the 9 vessels returning to their proper places.
Sealed the pavilion official. Tear the main peak apart yourself. Do you know what you're talking about?
The scrap artifact pavilion has not even had a complete true artifact diagram in 300. On the 30th day, 9 vessels were present.
You might think the real artifact is just talisman paper from a street stall. Draw if you want. You bet everything on us. But he really did save someone just now. You can truly paint 9 true artifacts. Not just painting it. It is about restoring their original use. Make up for it.
This little spiritual power in this life. Even Ding couldn't hold out for long. So let's start by drawing a tool for use. The first piece, and return to the original cauldron, and complete it within 3 days. 3 days. There are still 8 items left before the Wanchi mini-exam, so none of them can be drawn wrong.
3 days later, the main peak will test the furnace. If the abandoned artifacts pavilion dares to take the examination,
自负其辱
came just in time. Today, the furnace is being tested. It was for the inner sect apprentices to see. If the abandoned artifact pavilion truly dares to come, don't say the main peak is bullying. They don't really want to use the paper diagram to test the furnace, do they? The fire is too full. The furnace was already empty.
The first batch will be chaotic.
The scrap artifact pavilion doesn't have a new furnace. They also dare to participate in the furnace trial. You don't even have a stove. Just use a painting of a cauldron to embarrass yourself.
Today's test is fire control.
It's not about whose stove
is more expensive. Good. Then let you see. What is the true fire of the main peak? The fire was
strong. Furnace pressure stabilizes. No wonder it's a new furnace on the main peak.
See no.
This is what forging is truly meant. Where is wrong? The fire rushed too high from the furnace mouth. This indicates insufficient core tempering. Add more spirit stones.
It only causes chaos in the fire.
Pressurize. The main peak Qilu could not have lost control. Press down again. The stove will explode.
Shut up. This is the test furnace. Not to let the scrap artifact pavilion laugh at them.
How dare you touch the main peak's new furnace? I don't touch the stove. I let the fire go home. Don't let him move around. That picture. He rescued the main peak, Qilu. Nonsense. The main peak is the new furnace that is naturally stable.
You didn't draw a cauldron.
This is the path of the returning fire.
Well, the purpose of the Guiyuan cauldron is not bigger than fire.
This is to let the chaotic fire return to its source.
The first batch was just an accident. Second batch. Increase the heat pressure to 3 times.
Stop.
This furnace isn't just about the fire. This is the deficiency of fire.
The brighter it was outside,
The more empty it is inside.
people from the Scrap Artifact Pavilion. Also worthy of commentary on the main peak furnace method. The main peak will handle it themselves. You fight to win. He didn't even care about his own disciples. You just drew it once. Can it still hold on?
Save.
First rescue. Why did you save me? I am from the main peak. If it hadn't been for him just now, then my junior brother might really get injured by the furnace fire. I personally opened the third batch. Didn't the Scrap Artifact Pavilion say they knew how to temper? I want to take a look. The main peak, Sanyang furnace pressed down.
Can I still collect that broken map of yours?
See clearly. This is the true furnace technique of the main peak. It's not about exploding.
It was like swallowing fire.
Isn't swallowing fire a good thing?
The furnace swallows fire. This indicates that the Guiyuan pattern has received the blockade pattern. What is refined is not a weapon.
It is a useless shell. The cabinet of artifacts was abolished. See no. The stronger the fire, the better. You didn't forge any magical treasures. His face. The sword embryo was inherently inferior. It has nothing to do with the furnace method. The Guiyuan pattern is mistakenly connected to the sealing pattern. The fire only burns the shell, but it does not enter the heart of the vessel. You exchange for 10 sword blanks.
It's the same.
Zhaoxuan. What he says is true. Shut up. You win. It only proved that their furnace technique was wrong in one way. And that's not even a win. The trial furnace is not yet finished. The abandoned artifact pavilion was not allowed to leave the venue. Young sect leader.
The abandoned instrument pavilion disturbed the testing furnaces.
He even destroyed the main peak sword embryo.
3 days.
You have patched up the incomplete map of the Qiwen furnace to this extent. It's still far from it. Of course, it's far from it. A fragmented map that can only be used to extinguish fire. He wanted to turn the Scrap Artifact Pavilion around.
It's too naive.
The Fire Cloud Furnace.
A mid-grade magical artifact personally forged by the young sect master. You say the main peak only knows how to save face. Then please take a look. My stove. Is it about saving face?
It's eating your vessel pattern. Clouds and fire are not external things.
Only the vessel's patterns were transformed.
Your Guiyuan cauldron hasn't taken shape yet. Why should I accept it? Fire has no form. It's because there is no core. It's not that it can't be accepted. No one gave it a way home. Draw a hole. It's because you don't leak fast
Enough when you break the cauldron.
The fire dispersed again. There must also be a place to return to. You didn't break his furnace of fire. It was helping to patch the circuit. The Bao is ill.
You can't just focus on pressing. Let it flow on its own.
The fire cloud furnace became more stable.
The young sect master's magical artifact. It was actually supplemented by the scrap artifact pavilion.
You're pretty good at training.
Only one heart returning pattern was missing. Daring. Young sect master, it's your turn to judge the magical artifact. If he had just continued using cloud fire pattern transformation, within 3 days, this furnace will split its own heart. The scrap artifact pavilion isn't here to win the trial furnace. He had just been at the furnace on the rescue peak. The first is a true artifact. Became. It is not a complete true artifact.
It was only for the sake of a single realization. The scrap artifact pavilion made the list. No way.
How can a fragmented map make it onto the Wanchi list?
And one is truly employed. Only it can see the scrap artifact pavilion. To truly make the list. Still far from enough. Shen Zhaoxuan, you really surprised me. However, the Wanchi minor list only recognizes 9 types of implements. The Guiyuan Cauldron can only be considered the first category.
Still missing 8 or 9 other tools.
5 days later.
The intersect tests the flying sword blade.
Testing the edge of the flying sword. The second item. The foot-long mountain is stationed at Jinyue. The Jinyue ruler can truly press down on a flying sword. Flying swords are all about speed. No matter how you look at it, the ruler doesn't seem capable of catching up to the sword. Couldn't catch up. Then there's no need to chase after him. No matter how fast the sword is, you also need to have influence. The Jinyue ruler did not measure the blade. It was the sword's strike point. Senior Brother Shen, we found 3 fragments of paper with mountain patterns. May be useful. If the second device can also make the list.
Does the scrap artifact pavilion really have a chance?
Find all the images with horizontal mountain patterns. What the Jinyue ruler lacks is not the ruler's head. This is the pressure line. People from the scrap artifact pavilion. I started to believe him. Stop the fire by relying on the furnace pattern. Count your luck. But the flying sword is different. As soon as the sword strike appeared,
and the eyes were immediately upon him.
Is your scrap pavilion's paper drawings ready to shine in time? He really dared to come. The last time was returned to the Yuan Cauldron.
There is something indeed.
This sword is called Qingxian. Within 3 breaths it can circle around the enemy 7 times. The flying sword was so fast it was impossible to see clearly. How to draw the scrap artifact pavilion.
The sword is fast.
Man. Why did it stop? The blade is here. The sword strike had already landed 3 feet away. You only urge the sword. Do not consider the situation.
Of course it can't move.
Replace the shadow-folding sword.
It has no fixed sword path.
Let's see how he presses it.
This time there was no placement. There was a shadow. There's a sense of gravity. No way. My sword's shadow can't even tell the true path to myself. What does he know the center? Who are you speaking for? The Jinyue ruler is not a chasing sword. Let the sword strike itself under the ruler. The first 2 sword were just test moves. The main peak truly wants to use it to suppress the scrap artifact pavilion. Not those.
A single sword is useless.
9 swords were unleashed together. You are an energy sword.
9 energy handles.
9 swords, 9 momentum, intertwining endlessly.
Your broken ruler can hold down several places.
If it cannot be done, then withdraw.
9 swords are not the same as 9 forces. This is a situation divided
into 9 routes. The main force is in the 7th sword.
Nine sword formation.
He crushed her with a single foot.
Many swords. It doesn't mean the momentum is strong. You split 1 sword path into 9.
It only adds 8 more flaws. The second skill is coming. 7 more items to go. The Guiyuan Cauldron was put to rest.
Mount Jinyue presses down on the sword with a foot.
But if next time, it's an illusion device. amidst the ruined paintings of the abandoned artifact pavilion. But there was no complete photo of the true mirror. A mirror can confuse the eyes. The patterns on the vessels cannot be confused.
3 days later.
Illusory Mirror Hall. I'll wait for you to draw the third piece. Host. Shen Zhaoxuan. In the Hall of Illusory Mirrors, truth and falsehood are blurred.
Your little trick with judging the artifact marks. At this point, it's useless. Illusion devices are the most troublesome. Don't hold on. The more fake something is, the more I fear being revealed. This is the 100 Artifacts Illusion Mirror.
The first 2 times, you broke the deadlock by looking at the artifact patterns. But these magical treasures.
There are no fixed patterns at all. Which one do you want to photograph? No need to take photos. Fake stuff. Too eager to prove oneself real.
Let's see what you draw this time. The true mirror is hidden here.
The more the illusion device tries to trick the eyes,
the harder it was to hide
the breath that kept it going.
Not even a mirror. He even dares to call it the true mirror. A true mirror is not about appearances. Zhaoxuan. Do not look at the face.
There are still 7 more. These 7 items are the real trump cards. No, they are not genuine artifacts either. He only borrowed the 7 mirror hearts.
Lu Qingxuang. Opening the 7-heart mirror. The 7-heart mirror does not reflect the eyes. It's the ending you fear the most.
If your mind is disturbed,
even a mirror that looks like a mirror can become a useless one. That wasn't the illusory mirror hall's memories. Shen Zhaoxuan.
Is that person you?
Not who I am now. He was in chaos.
He couldn't draw anymore.
What are you doing? If the mirror cannot reflect oneself, how can one speak of illuminating the truth? No way. The 7 hearts mirror reveals the flaws in a heart. How could it be reflected? Because you take fear for truth.
Are you okay?
It's okay. I only saw some old grudges. That old scene just now. Recorded. Young sect leader. Perhaps it was just the 7 hearts mirror being disturbed. Throwing fake things. Can the 7 hearts mirror create something you've never seen?
Shen Zhaoxuan. Who are you?
Zhao Zhenjing has already made the list. You should rest for the night. Gu Qianzhu has already started investigating me.
Next.
Then draw the heart bell. 3 incomplete maps appeared in succession from the Waste Artifact Pavilion.
Unknown origin.
Today, it's not just about testing instruments. It also verifies people. This was a suspicion that Shen Zhaoxuan had stolen the band map.
The drumhead is too tight. Drums beat the heart and empty space. Knock it down.
It is not about asking the heart. This is a chaotic mind. The old shadow inside the 7-heart mirror had already been sent into the forbidden vault for comparison. Indeed, there are records of the old master of Wanbao.
So today we can't just watch him win or not.
It depends on what he fears.
His heart beat like a drum. Lies have nowhere to hide. First, the drums were stopped. Someone in the audience couldn't take it anymore. They are not participants. Why should we also be pressured? Ask the heart to verify falsehood. Even bystanders can serve as evidence.
If even the drumbeat can't stand it.
He could only blame his low cultivation. This drum. Unworthy to question the heart. Holding the bell and drum. You think you're not losing fast enough. Asking the heart is not about forcing people to kneel.
It is about making yourself heard. It's not about beating the drum. It is to let the drum hear its own chaos. He was disrupting the authenticity of the test. Shen Zhaoxuan, if you have no ghost in your heart, why fear the heartbeat?
And returned to the original cauldron. The foot-long mountain is stationed at Jinhua.
Reflect into the true mirror. Ask the heart bell. These utensils have long been lost. You're just a handy servant in the scrap artifact pavilion. Why would it be?
Say, whose inheritance did you steal?
Or do you say?
You're not Shen Zhaoxuan at all. Finally, he was afraid. You must ask your heart.
So let me ask my heart first. If he really wanted to harm the main peak. That day, I was already injured by the furnace fire. He always saved people first. Stop pretending to save someone. To ask the heart, one must ask about identity.
You are not asking the heart. It is heart-wrenching.
Who doesn't answer what you want to hear?
Whoever is suppressed by the drumbeats will admit fault. Young sect leader, I don't know about this forbidden rune. Zhou Bing arbitrarily changed the heart drum, disturbing and verifying falsehoods, and the position of the
Was abolished.
escorted back to the main peak for further investigation.
You won the heart call.
But you still haven't answered my question.
Who are you?
Who am I?
These patterns are genuine. If you really want to know, why not first ask why the main peak discarded the true artifact map down to just the shell? The 30-day agreement still remains. The 4 vessels have already been returned. Still 5 pieces missing. The cabinet of artifacts was abolished. For items now, 4 pieces are not enough. 5 days later, the sealed tower will open. 废弃阁若能出塔准入内门气库一层. The sealed tower was always only in and out of the tower. Then paint the boat crossing the dangerous boat. The abandoned vessel pavilion has already been painted with 4 vessels.
If today I can leave the sealed tower, you are now allowed to enter the first floor of the inner gate armory to examine the maps.
He is not giving a chance. They want to trap us inside. The scrap artifact pavilion, don't hold us back. Sealed inside the forbidden tower. A painted paper boat cannot survive. The talisman was reversed. Stop pretending to understand. How could this be?
You keep the door open. It only blocks the road even more tightly.
No water.
Where would the ferry come from?
Painted boats inside the forbidden pagoda. The scrap artifact pavilion really has gone mad.
Go here. Even walls can be walked on.
How did you do it just now?
Crossing the dangerous boat, one cannot break the wall.
Only crossing the gap between the sealed threads. The sealing of the forbidden tower was tightened again. You also need to leave a loop for your own seal patterns. This is no ordinary trial. The chains are drawing in our spiritual pressure.
Someone has altered the pagoda.
It is not a test to break through the trap now. It's about using trials to extract spirits. The young sect master won't harm us. I'll save you now. What are you doing? Don't touch the lock recklessly. The chain tightened more and more. Breaking it will only hurt you back. Get out. He will deliver you from the cause and effect of the locks. He saved us again. The sealing tower had its external artifact patterns connected to it. The goal was not to trap people. It was to test whether my crossing misfortune boat could break the lock. Gu Qianju watched from outside the tower, crossing the boat of calamity. There are also records in old volumes.
相传此器不破险境。
Only crossing the gaps in cause and effect. Return to the original state. Station at you. Zhaoxuan. Ask the heart. Crossing the disaster.
He wasn't painting broken artifacts.
It was a complete set of myriad treasure sequences. Young sect leader.
Should we stop the tower? No third level opened.
How to push him to his limits. This is not a normal trial for the sealed tower. The third layer shouldn't be a ban on flow. Save people first. Crossing the disaster. Do not cross the strong or the weak. Only those in need are saved. I treated you like that just now. You still save me. People from Tali. None of them can be missing. Young sect leader. The third floor of the Forbidden Tower has been altered. If not for Shen Zhaoxuan, we can't get out. The Scrap Artifact Pavilion passed the trial. Admission to the first floor of the Inner Gate Armory. No one had entered the Scrap Artifact Pavilion for 300 years. You can only check one layer of old images. Do not touch the ceiling frame. Complete images must not be printed. No private collection.
Feel relieved.
Here's the picture. It has long been incomplete. What do you mean? These are incomplete. It can be connected to the old map of the Scrap Artifact Pavilion.
Someone split an entire set of real artifact diagrams in half.
Half stayed on the main peak. Preserve your appearance.
Half of it was thrown into the Scrap Artifact Pavilion.
Cutting utensils for use. Nonsense. How could the main peak scroll possibly be damaged? This chain. The most important lockback pattern is missing.
You've only learned to lock people up. Didn't learn to lock the device. The sixth true artifact. Binding the spirit rope. Not locking people up.
It is the magic weapon that locks out of control.
Chains do not lock people. Could it be to lock a sword? You'll find out soon.
Don't get close.
That was the soul-breaking sword.
It was sealed for 100 years. Once shelved, it will damage all artifact patterns. And seal them together. Old swords must not be allowed to leave the armory.
Don't use lock-up techniques to lock it up.
The more you lock it, the more chaotic it becomes. No locks are needed.
Could it be that it ruined the armory? It's too late. Such a thin rope. How could he possibly lock an old sword? The tighter the rope, the better. Locked in the wrong place. The vessel will go mad. It seems to be asking for something.
It's not about asking for release. It is to pray that the sword intent will not be torn apart by the wrong chain.
Chains can also be used this way. The real spirit-binding rope. What is locked is out of control. Not freedom. You use it to lock people up. Of course, the more you lock up, the messier it gets. Don't carry it alone. Thanks a lot. If these real artifact diagrams are not dismantled,
The Scrap Pavilion wouldn't be called a 300-year-old useless. There is no evidence. You can't talk nonsense. Young sect leader.
if this matter spreads,
The origins of the old maps of the main peak and the Scrap Artifact Pavilion will be questioned. Therefore, it cannot be passed down. The first floor of the warehouse was temporarily sealed and inspected today.
to outsiders, he
He
only
said the old seal
the severed soul sword was loose.
loose. Scrap Pavilion assists with disposal. But Shen Zhaoxuan had already obtained the binding spirit rope diagram. After the 6th artifact, I want to see how he replenishes the 7th artifact. Six items already. There are still 3 pieces missing.
The 7th item.
It should be there.
That was the lightning device sealing rack. It does not belong to the first level of permission. You have discovered another problem.
Lightning is not uncontrollable.
No one gave it away. Next item. Probably not just a map. It is a lightning-saving device. Retreat. The mine device sealing rack is about to open. Everyone exited the vault. Thunder weapon sealing racks are not for you to touch. This is also a form of artificial correction. Not about reform. Someone deliberately cut off the minefield. Let it stay silly in the shelf.
This was the heaven-summoning thunder seal sealed for 100 years.
Cannot be taken off the shelf. Back then, it nearly destroyed half of the armory.
It's not about blowing up the warehouse.
It's you who won't let Lei walk. Lei can still walk. Thunder fears no strength.
Afraid of traffic jams. Stuck until the end. That's why it backfires.
You need to use a needle to block the lightning. Thunder cannot stop it.
It can only be introduced. It did not suppress minds, but it caused Lei to leave the person. Thunder is the movement of heaven, not a torture device. You always think about suppressing it.
That's a useless tank.
It has long been unnecessary.
No.
That doesn't mean it's useless. It turned out the armory already had a lightning guide path.
This is clearly a protective device mine slot.
Why is the main peak sealed off as a dangerous frame?
Because it's easy to seal.
Maintaining the mineral path is troublesome.
In time, you just put away what you can't fix. All are called dangerous old devices. Seven pieces already.
2 more items are missing. The further it goes,
The less easy it is.
young sect leader. Let him check it again. The old map being dismantled is a constant issue.
The earliest the myriad artifacts grand ceremony can be brought forward soon.
According to the clan regulations.
At least 10 more days.
Change it to 3 days later. The reason was that the Scrap Artifact Pavilion produced 7 artifacts in a row. Verify legitimacy in advance. 3 days later, the grand ceremony of all vessels will be held.
10 days 1, originally 10 days 3. 3 days later, Wanpin originally had 10 days left to eat.
There were originally 10 days left. We still need 2 genuine artifacts.
The young sect master did it on purpose. Of course, on purpose. Give us another 10 days. The 8th instrument. The 9th organ can also take shape. So what now? Within 3 days.
First, the 8th vessel is added. Sealed with Yuan's seal.
What does it resist?
The first 7 pieces all deal with single magical treasures losing control. The 8th item is different. It is the core of the formation. The grand ceremony of all artifacts, above.
Gu Qianzhu will definitely set up the myriad artifacts formation.
The weakness of the myriad artifacts array is not in the myriad artifacts, and at the eye of the formation. There was no sealing abyss seal. We can see turbulence. He couldn't hold back his nerves. But this picture is missing too much.
Senior brother Shen. There is half a corner of the seal on it.
These are all leftover images we used to use as table legs. The old Scrap Artifact Pavilion was like waiting to be sealed. Now it really feels like he wants to save himself.
It is not that I saved
The Waste Artifact Pavilion.
It was you who finally believed it had roots.
Wan Bao was once the master. The 7 instruments were already awake. You are still alive. You came early. What is this?
The 7 instruments were already awake.
Is the Eastern Emperor's bell
Shadow still far away?
far away? You're not looking for Zhong. It's me. The map is about to be contaminated. Don't do it. It is not a physical entity. It is the reverse chi pattern. What is the reverse artifact pattern? The vessel patterns bring magical treasures back to their places.
The anti-artifact pattern caused the artifact to lose control.
They grow up eating utensils. You remember.
It's a pity for you in this life.
Not even a single real artifact could be fully painted. Senior brother Shen, what can we do? Help me stabilize the map. The 8th artifact must be completed now. A bunch of miscellaneous laborers from the ruined
Pavilion.
I also want to block the reverse artifact pattern. True artifacts never rely on one person to awaken. Someone is willing to hold it.
It is useful. If you can't hold on, stop.
If it devours the 7 vessels diagram.
3 days later, the grand ceremony of 10,000 artifacts. We don't even have the right to stand on stage.
Sealed with Yuan's seal.
不封人, and did not seal the vessel. What seals the turbulent flow gap? Half a stamp. He wanted to seal me. Sealing you is not enough.
Sealing a crack.
That's enough. At the grand ceremony of 10,000 artifacts.
I'll wait for you to finish the clock.
Don't touch it. It just wants you to get hands on. The reverse pattern bites back with spiritual power. Then let it be. Keep it for now. Before the grand ceremony of myriad vessels.
We also need to know where it comes from. Seeing your brother Shen, when the seal of the abyss
Just fell.
it seemed like a line of writing had gone underground.
Have you seen this kind of thing before?
Seen once. What happened later? Afterward, I couldn't bring back all the treasures. One last piece is still missing. But the last one, it should not be painted now. Eastern Emperor Bell. To be precise, it was just a shadow of a bell. Can it calm the turbulence at the myriad artifacts ceremony? If it were only Gu Qianzhu's myriad artifacts formation. But if the reverse pattern also appears in the grand ceremony, one shadow of a bell may not be enough.
So what to do?
Using 8 vessels. Help him borrow a message. Within 30 days, 8 vessels were produced in succession from the abandoned artifact pavilion. Today, we must publicly verify the orthodox succession, the grand canon of myriad vessels.
The scrap artifact pavilion still brought paper. The scrap artifact pavilion only knows how to patch up incomplete maps.
The main peak has held up the myriad artifacts sect for 300 years. If you lose today, it's not just about sealing the cabinet. He also had a hand over the 8 artifacts map. It is now part of the main peak as the main peak.
Orthodoxy is not written on the list.
It's about not harming people when used.
Then let Wanchi judge.
This time, it's not the 9 swords.
It was the 36 swords.
Let's see how he measures that broken ruler. Fire cauldron. The sword can hold the line. The fire couldn't be stopped. He is not putting out fires.
It is about bringing every kind of fire back to its own furnace.
The true body couldn't be found.
Let's see how he draws it. We can also help you secure your portfolio. True artifacts do not belong to one person. Fengtai.
The tower remains unbroken.
No one can get out. He wants to lock our map. Locks are fine.
First, you need to understand why the instrument is in disorder.
The thunder seal presses
Down on people. Over. Don't block the thunder. Sure enough, here it is. The core of the myriad artifacts formation. Open. Shen Zhaoxuan.
All 8 vessels were brought out. It's nothing more than that. Didn't you say the main peak lost its root?
Then take out the root that can stabilize all things.
You want to see the Eastern Emperor Bell.
I'll let you hear it. Half a bell breaks the bell. It also matches all the instruments.
The abandoned map can't be suppressed. The scrap artifact pavilion is over. A picture of a dying bell.
Unable to withstand the formation of myriad instruments. It doesn't need to hold up all the instruments. It only needs to be remembered by Wanchi. Where should I belong? We can hold on. The 9 artifacts are not the incomplete paintings of the Scrap Artifact Pavilion.
These are the 9 outer rings of the Donghuang Bell.
No, this is the Wanbao Guishu, return of all treasures. The clock is not the 9th instrument. The bell is the core that governs the 9 instruments.
It was competing for the bell
Patterns. This is not my myriad artifacts array pattern. You think you're trying to prove your legitimacy. He was just forcing me to draw the clock. Young sect leader. What is this black marking? The Wanchi command, no longer listening to me. Drag it down again.
The people below will be trapped.
If you still want to save face. So I kept standing.
I'll help you steady the fire. Then don't move around. Do as I say.
All the implements return to their proper place. Only then does the bell sound finally find its place. Who is messing around? Whoever gets eaten by the reverse pattern first. Only a shadow remained.
You still want to suppress me. Not enough to calm you. To govern all the myriad instruments.
That's enough. The cabinet of artifacts was abolished.
It really became legitimate.
A single bell tolls. Sure enough, it's still you.
Wanbao was once the master. After reincarnation, you're much weaker than you were back then.
Weak.
It's enough to force you out of your shell.
You suppress this small myriad artifacts sect.
So what?
A true myriad artifacts calamity.
I found you. Wanbao was once the master.
Reincarnation returns.
Shen Zhaoxuan.
Who are you? The myriad artifacts formation lost control.
It wasn't caused by the
Artifact Pavilion. Sealed the pavilion official.
Remove. We won.
Not winning. It's a temporary loss.
Today you saved the disciples in the audience.
I admit it, but your origin.
It's not over yet. First check for black markings.
Next.
It was no longer using the myriad artifacts array.
Chaos was already outside now.
Let them mess up.
Their guesses don't matter.
Compared to black markings.
进藏里却有万宝救主以中镇诸天气节。
Reincarnation is a remnant of a lost track.
The Wanchi platform array I was only the first coordinate.
The true source still lies within the sect. Check here first.
Came proactively for the first time. It all started with the Scrap Artifact Pavilion. The Scrap Artifact Pavilion is not a pile of wasted paintings.
This is the true source of the 9 artifacts. Come to the Ancestral Vessel Hall. Take back your bell bone. The Ancestral Vessel Hall is the foundation of the main peak. The abandoned cabinet had just entered the Zhengtong era as a candidate. He wanted to break into the hall. The black patterns of the myriad artifact array are indeed not the old patterns of the main peak.
If there is a problem with the Ancestral Reveals Hall,
Must check. It doesn't recognize the main peak.
it is the return of all
Things to order. No way. The trial door was accepted.
If the arrangement is right, there will be no half-arc grooves left empty there. Main Peak Ancestral Vessel Hall. Why is there a waste artifact pavilion sealing ink?
Shut up.
This inverted pattern wasn't placed by him. How to suppress it? You use the fire cloud furnace to steady the black flame. Willow's lightly frost reflect in the mirror, breaking shadows. The main peak disciple withdrew the broken sword aura. The 8 instruments of the abandoned cabinet and the stable 8 instruments painting.
I seal the coordinates.
Who will disturb the battle again?
According to the case of rebellion.
To the north lies Jinchi Cliff. Their dangerous artifacts that could never be repaired were sealed there.
30 years ago, disciples were forbidden from approaching. The bell bone of the Eastern Emperor was moved to Jinchi Cliff. Black pattern also grew up there. The bell bones are inside. Delay again. It will be eaten by the reflection. Cliff opening. Did you see it? This place is full of useless junk. It's not a scrap device. It was the warrior pattern that broke when protecting the master back then. No one will make up for it. Only then was he thrown here.
I told you you couldn't open the cliff.
It's not meant to kill us. It was like forcing broken
Organs to tear each other
apart.
Using turbulent currents to nurture the bell's bones. Everyone obeyed his command. No new broken or broken vessels are permitted. The black pattern is not hidden on the Jinchi Cliff. It is parasitic on the bell bone. The bell bone cannot be pulled out, forcibly taken. It will bring out the turbulence of the entire cliff along with it. From today, no longer were the remnants of the Jinchi Cliff artifacts called discarded artifacts.
They are old artifacts of the myriad artifacts sect.
So what if you get a piece back?
The Eastern Emperor Bell was broken in more than one place.
The 9th artifact finally began to take shape. The first is the bone. The second part is sound. Without it, your Donghuang bell shadow can only ring once. This is a trap. It's also a road. After entering, listen to your command. Remember, don't rush to fix it.
Duan Qijian feared most not badness. Some people think they can fix everything.
It breaks. It is because of protecting the Lord. It is not a sort of failure. It refuses to be forcibly pieced together. Some mirrors have shattered after that. Reflecting on more things is actually more visible. Turns out a broken mirror can also reflect the truth.
It wasn't trying to repair the magical treasure. It is the desire to eat them whole. The most dangerous thing in Duanqi Ravine is not the incompleteness. It's an obsession.
The more someone wants to forcibly restore everything to its original state, the more likely it is to be eaten. The main peak cannot be lost. You see. You're still wondering how others see you.
It's calling you over.
This is the backbone of the voice. Get it back. Zhonghuang Zhongying
was more than just a figure.
And it can truly sound a
second tone.
You don't want to go back to your past life.
Unexpectedly, all treasures came into my hands.
Unexpectedly, a single bell could calm the heavens. I don't want to go back to my past life.
I only want this lifetime.
The people in the audience were able to leave alive. It turned out that what Duan Qijian wanted was to let go of his obsessions.
Eastern Emperor Bell. Not my clock.
This is the path where all things return. A single sound calms all instruments. The second note opens the old gate. It was you who woke it up with your own hands. It's forcing you to blame yourself. This is not the door I opened. It had been waiting behind the door for a long time. The sound bone only lets us see it. This is the order of return. It doesn't recognize me.
So Dong Wang Zhong also didn't recognize Wan Bao's former owner alone. And what pacifies all
things is the suppression of all things. Not to rule for one person, The 2 bones returned to their places. The 3rd bone will awaken. The entrance to the myriad artifacts calamity had already opened by a slighter margin.
Speak earnestly and
Listen earnestly.
if the 3rd bell bone is taken by He One first, the entrance opens 3 inches more.
At that time, all the sect's magical treasures would hear the counterattack. Returning to the market and offering altar. That is not the lingering regret of an ancestral artifact.
This is the pattern of the reverse vessel. You have been 30 years. The 3rd bell bone was pressed down by the black profound seal. The Goeishu altar must be removed. The black profound seal was not entangled by black patterns. It has already been treated as a nest. It's not a bell bone. It is like borrowing the bell's bone to nourish the mouth. Wan Bao was once the master.
The 3rd bell bone is the door bone. You dare to take it. It dares to open the door. Door bone.
Not the door opening. It's the gatekeeper. The main peak has nurtured me for 30 years.
The main peak veins on your body are best to ingest.
Gu Qianzhu.
Don't use the young sect master status to pressure it. The more you recognize this old vein, the more it bites you. The main peak is orthodox. It shouldn't be proven by a single token. Door bone. Return to the position. Wan Bao was once the master. Finally met again. A fragment of the original body of the anti-artifact pattern.
In a past life, countless treasures have been tried.
It all started with this kind of thing.
My name is Niki. Back then, you
With the Eastern Emperor's bell.
Now I borrow you to mend the clock. Reopening the graveyard of myriad artifacts. It's not that I let the treasure backfire on its master. It's something you've never heard of before.
Don't let it poison you with the truth. It is not speaking for the magical treasure.
It is about breaking the relationship between the device and the person. The second sound is still unstable, but the gate bone can be guarded first. It is not about sealing or sealing the place. This is to prevent further expansion of the entrance.
The 3 bones returned to their places.
The sound already recorded at the gate. Wait for you to strike the full 2nd tone.
I will come to fetch the bell myself.
Muslims, the true endgame.
And at the Wanchi platform.
It wasn't about opening the
Goeishu Pass. He intended to summon the entire sect's magical treasures from the Wanchi platform.
The reverse artifact wants us to rescue the Wan Qi. He personally tore open the 2nd door. Everyone lowered their instruments. Don't rush to control it. The more you snatch it, and instead summon Yuchang. In the heart of every magical treasure, there are cracks in all of them. A crack is not a crime.
Being used by the reverse artifact to tear it apart is the real thing.
A magical artifact that wanted to save him.
First, listen to what it fears.
The main peak was something I missed before.
Starting today, I started supplementing. The seal of the original seal could not hold it down. If you knock it a 2nd time, will it break?
No knocking. The sect was the first to collapse.
Knock it.
The 2nd sound. Your clock will crack. I will also find your past life. It's not just your clock. Then let it sound. And all the utensils are lacking. It can be remedied. There is resentment. Yes. Wrong. It can be recognized. But you can't rob them for them. This was only the 2nd sound. It is not the final bell.
From today,
The Scrap Artifact Pavilion is no longer a place for storing scrap maps. and established the Wanqi sect Guishu Pavilion. Peak. Guishu Pavilion jointly revised the instrument catalog. All broken vessels and old drawings. 不得再以废名弃之.
The Wanqi order was lent by Heiwan. I should no longer be the one in charge. Henceforth, all the myriad vessels were ordered to be recast. It is jointly managed by the main peak and the Guishu Pavilion. I used to think orthodoxy was superior to others.
Only now do we know. Orthodoxy is when something happens. It can bring all artifacts back to the right path.
You can get it. The main peak still has hope.
Before, this place seemed to be waiting to be sealed off.
Now it really feels alive.
Temporarily closed.
Only the Eastern Emperor's bell. Still far from coming back. Wanbao was once the master.
The three bones returned to their places. All the heavens have already heard of it. Next. I'll wait for you at the Wanqi graveyard. Then wait. Before finishing, he was always disobedient. I wonder where I locked it wrong. Other words, we only managed to recover 3 pieces.
The Eastern Emperor bell can ring its second tone. It was the whole sect that helped it gain strength. It's not truly complete.
Next time you encounter the true body of the reverse artifact.
3 bones are far from enough. Then keep looking. Next piece. I'm afraid it's no longer within the myriad artifacts sect. The mistake has already been made. Let's first see what he left behind.
Back then, he was deceived. It's not just ordinary reflex.
The reverse artifact body has long been able to mimic the sounds of ancestral artifacts. Then the second season. What we need to investigate is not just the bell bone. The Wanqi ranking is no longer just about strength. Also record whether the device has been returned to its original position. Whether the magical treasure harms the master. Whether the artifacts have been properly maintained.
The scrap artifact pavilion has changed. The main peak has changed too. This is only the first step to survival. Are you really the old owner of Wanbao?
B. Not either. In my previous life, I was already shattered in the tribulation.
Standing here now,
It was Shen Zhaoxuan in this life.
will you one day become that lofty old master again? If I only want to go back to my past life, he wouldn't have saved people every time. Then I remembered.
If you forget, let me remind you. This is a way to guide the way, not the road. It's an echo. The reverse artifact body responds to them in the graveyard of all artifacts. The Wanqi sect's power was limited. You can't get there. So in Season 2, first, find the key to enter the cemetery. First, repair the boat.
Repair the mirror again. Then look for the bell bone. At least you know what to do next. Old debts owed by the main peak. It should be repaid together.
If the audience sees this far,
Would you think we won? You feel like you won the first match. But the true myriad artifacts calamity. Still behind the door. The 3 bones return to their places.
only enough for you to protect one sect.
Wanbao was once the master, if you wish to protect the heavens. So he came to the cemetery to retrieve the remaining bones.
It wants me to go.
And I'm afraid I won't go.
So go then. Go.
But not now. Nor did he go alone.
There is no scrap cabinet. There was no Guishu pavilion. Imperfection is not shameful. Forgetting one's roots is the real thing. Back then, I only wanted to protect the scrap pavilion. Now I want to know the true sound of these old instruments. From now on, you will raise the heart bell. You are better suited than I am to listen to people's hearts. If you ever want to carry it alone again, I'll ring the bell first. Good. From today, disciples of the main peak cultivate artifacts.
First, write out the missing parts.
Write about the strengths again. Isn't that embarrassing? No missing spots are visible. That's the real embarrassment. As long as people are eager to make the device open, it has a chance to come back.
Will black lines be completely removed? Xinghei, one was not a major battle. So I must remember every day from now on. Stop treating vessels as mere honor. If the second season really goes to the graveyard of all artifacts.
Main summit is heading to. So first, he should nurture the main peak's own organs.
Own organs.
That was a harsh remark.
But yes.
The third tone. The third ring isn't something that can be heard right now.
The second call saved the Wanchi sect.
The third call would likely face the real graveyard of myriad artifacts.
Then just get them back one piece at a time. Next season, starting from the boat at Goeishu. You said,
The Eastern Emperor Bell is not a clock for one person.
all things return to their proper order.
It's not just your business.
Good.
Next. Not alone. Wanbao was once the master. The three bones returned to their places.
All the heavens have already heard of it. Next.
I'll wait for you at the Wanchi graveyard. Then wait.